CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Victoria police are continuing their search for a young woman who is missing in the downtown area, and they and her mother are hoping you can help. 26-year-old Emma Philippoff was last seen in the 800 block of Burdett Avenue on November 28th. She frequents the downtown Victoria area, but she has no history of going missing. She was last seen wearing camouflage pants and was carrying an orange purse. Her mother is very concerned about her. She is in Victoria from Ottawa to help in the search to find her.
She's not a drug user, she's not a drinker, but she was staying at a women's shelter. Today's day 9, so it's getting pretty serious. It was always serious, but I guess the word is more imperative that we find her.
If you see Emma Philippoff or you know her whereabouts, you're asked to contact Victoria Police or your nearest police detachment. Back in this province, a major coal export facility in Vancouver had to shut down its main berth after a carrier slammed into a trestle. The coal carrier at West Shore Terminals was docking when it crashed and punctured a funnel that carries coal to the ships. It wasn't badly damaged and is still floating, but the company is going to have to use a second berth at that terminal for shipments until the trestle can operate again. West Shore Terminals says it's investigating what caused the carrier to crash. Well, Parksville and Qualicum Beach are bracing themselves for some extreme weather overnight, and a shelter has been set up for those who need a place to stay warm. The Oceanside Task Force on Homelessness issued the alert at 10 o'clock this morning after seeing a chance of snow in the forecast with a low of just 1 degree. To shelter you from the cold, the Salvation Army in Parksville on the Alberni Highway will open up 8 beds and provide a warm meal with breakfast in the morning.
I think it's really important that when people know, when we issue the alert for extreme weather, or if you think it's cold enough, that people, if you see someone that you think that might be homeless, or you're not sure, or you know that there's a homeless person that may be around your neighborhood somewhere, to let them know that they can always check either at the front of the church. They always have a shelter open or shelter closed sign, but to help them to seek some refuge out of that cold weather.
This is the third winter the task force has activated its shelter with the help of the Salvation Army. Last year it was open for 55 nights and on average housed 2 people per night. Well, hospital staff and healthcare workers across the province walked off their jobs today, affecting hundreds of patients on Vancouver Island. Thousands of medical imaging workers took part in rotating strike action, including technicians at Victoria General Hospital, pharmacists, radiation technologists, laboratory staff, and public health inspectors. The workers have not had a wage increase since 2009. A mediator was called in on Tuesday, and the health minister hopes the ministry hopes it can reach an agreement under the province's cooperative gains mandate. More than 500 medical procedures were cancelled on the island today because of the job action. Meantime, support workers at Vancouver Island University have a new tentative contract agreement that includes a 4% wage hike spread out over the last 2 years of their deal. QP Local 1858 says getting the agreement was a tough battle, adding that the union stuck to its guns to get the same deal as peers at other post-secondary institutions. The 4-year package must still be ratified by staff at the VIU's 4 main campuses. That'll happen sometime next week. The current contract expired more than 2 years ago. Well, there was celebration and surprise today after Statistics Canada released its latest jobs numbers. Canada added more than 59,000 jobs, dropping the unemployment rate to 7.2% from 7.4% the month before. That's not the case in British Columbia, though, where the province is blaming challenging economic times to explain our jobless rate and why it rose last month. The latest figures from StatsCan shows BC's unemployment climbed 1/10 of a point to 6.8% in November compared to the month before. In Greater Victoria, the jobless rate fell to 5.4% from 5.6%. Analysts say the falling numbers likely will not be the start of a trend, and even the U.S. saw better than expected jobs gains. But a closer look at the numbers tells a different story. Big business news tonight. 2 foreign takeovers in the oil patch are getting a green light from the Harper government. Ottawa has signed off on the $15 billion takeover of Calgary-based Nexen by China's state-owned oil company. It has also approved the $6 billion takeover of Progress Energy Resources by the Malaysian state firm Petronas. The rules for these types of deals are going to change, though. The Harper government says moving forward, it will only consider future takeover deals in the oil sands by state-owned companies in exceptional circumstances. The Prime Minister adds that while Canada is open to business to foreign investors, our country is not for sale. Well, he is known as Mr. Victoria, and the well-known island business and community leader and philanthropist was honored in a big way last night at a big birthday bash. Mel Cooper turns 80 on Monday, and last night people packed the Oak Bay Beach Hotel for a celebration and a roast. Cooper has a long broadcasting background and involvement in the community. His broadcasting began in radio in 1951, and he later became the owner of CFAX 1070. He also helped to bring the Commonwealth Games to Victoria in the mid-90s. Over the years, Mel Cooper has been involved in countless charitable organizations and has served on just as many boards of directors. His list of awards is just as long and includes the Order of British Columbia, Entrepreneur of the Year, and he's a member of the Order of Canada. The municipality of Oak Bay even declared December 10th to be Mel Cooper Day.
I'm feeling fantastic. I feel like Bill Vandersarm, they say that. I feel fantastic. You know, how could I feel any different? The place is full of friends and special people who've come to be at my 80th birthday. People say, why do you smile so much? I said, because I like to smile, you know. And I think really you only got one crack at this life. And I've learned to appreciate people and appreciate things. And I like to show my appreciation.
And he has done so. Among the people at last night's celebration, his wife Carmela. Cooper has 5 children, a dozen grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren. And we wish Mel all the very best. Well, Christmas carols and dancing and holiday treats being served up this afternoon for Our Place Society's 4th annual Christmas party. More than 50 volunteers of all ages helped hand out sandwiches and ice cream and home-baked goods to feed several hundred hungry people. There was even live music thanks to the Open Door Choir. Our Place says it wants to provide a festive feeling for those who are living in poverty.
I know there's lots going on and people are busy around Christmas, but we can't forget that there's other people who are out there that may not have the same opportunities that a lot of us share around Christmas, and so it's good to have a place for people to come and have that same experience.
The event was held today at the First Metropolitan Church. All of the food was donated. The Our Place Society says it can always use more volunteers at this time of the year and year-round, and you can find out more by stopping by at its Pandora Street office or going online. RCMP say a spike in pedestrian hits is alarming this season, and just this morning it happened again. A woman was struck while crossing a busy intersection in Nanaimo.
We're extremely concerned. This morning was again another call. I believe we've had 5 in the last 3 weeks that have involved injury or fatalities with motor vehicles. And this is a pattern that has to stop.
This morning's pedestrian accident, the latest, happened at about 7 o'clock when a woman was crossing the intersection of Commercial and Terminal. She was taken to the hospital, treated for what turned out to be minor injuries. The BC Coroner Service says 13 people have been killed across the province over the past 5 weeks in pedestrian accidents, 2 of them in Nanaimo. Police encourage pedestrians to make sure that they are visible and that drivers and people who are walking are extra careful on the roads, especially around intersections. Well, it's a close race, and Dover Bay Secondary is counting on your votes tonight to win the North America-wide competition for its parody video to Gangnam Style. Do you remember this? We first brought it to you when the competition began in early November. CTV's Chandler Grieve doing his part, joining in. Dover Bay has led the competition. That is until last night when an Ontario school went up by 500 votes. The grand prize is $30,000 towards classroom technology, but for this high school in Nanaimo, it's more than just cashing in.
This competition has become more than a competition. It's, I'm going to get emotional.
It's a lifestyle.
The entire population in this school and the community has supported us.
It's just amazing. We've had people from all over the world vote, and we've been sharing it with our friends, and they've all had their friends vote, and it's just awesome how people can come together to help with this.
Fewer than 100 votes separate Dover Bay from other schools across North America, and you have till midnight tonight to vote, so let's get Dover Bay over the top, Gangnam Style. Do so by voting at doverbay.ca.